My neighbor thinks that she's going to go to war with me. And newsflash, she's goddamn right. And so if she has one more thing to say to her ex-husband that she's probably still, you know what I mean? So then in return, he says something to our other neighbor, and then his husband relays it back to them, who relays it back to us. So listen, we heard through the grapevine, she said some things about the boy, and we don't stand for that. And so, it's gonna be an interesting time here. So if we learn that one more thing is said, then trash cans are gonna get knocked over, bad things are gonna happen, and baseball bats might be purchased. You know what I mean? Like tires will probably be flat in the morning. Listen, lady, I've got enough old but still functioning equipment that I don't mind getting rid of. I've already got a plan. There's outlets right outside of our housing units here in our community. And so I fully intend to go plug in an old PA amplifier that I had, inject an old iPod that's sitting over in this drawer, okay? And I'm going to pull up YouTube and I'm going to freaking play like 4 hours of random guitar riffs or like whatever else annoying sound I can think of, or just a playlist or something right outside her front door. I don't know, it may be like 3 a.m. And then I'll just go back to bed and I'll let her deal with it. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm not going to answer no one's going to come knocking at my door. I'm sleeping. I've been here all night. I've got an alibi. Megs is here. I've got a son. What are you talking about? It couldn't have been me. It's gonna be one of those situations. I'm gonna have to go to war with her at the same time as the HOA, because the HOA now, all we're doing is spending the money that I'm not paying them on signs, dude. All we're doing is buying signs now. We've got no street parking signs. Guess what? Every weekend, there's 1, 2, sometimes 3 people parked on the street. 2 times now, me coming home, my parking spots have been blocked because there's been an Amazon truck parked on the street where there's signs that say no street parking. That's not enforced. And so then a week or 2 ago, a random speedometer shows up. And if you go past it more than 30 miles an hour, these little red and blue lights flash. Okay. And my first thought was, oh, here's another 2 a.m. walk that I'm going to go on with a baseball bat and smash the damn thing. But that's okay, because I'm pretty sure Mother Nature took care of it for us, because the first weekend that we had it, it rained a little bit and then it never worked again. It was capturing our speed going through the neighborhood, which doesn't work. It just shows the speed and flashes lights. What's it going to do? I would zoom past it. I tried to get it to flash the lights at me every time. Every time I drove past it, I wanted the lights to flash just to see if it would work, see how fast I could get it to go. We were going to have running competitions. I was setting up a whole event for people to come out. We'll go on the street and we'll start at this point, and you got to run as fast as you can. And, that's how far you go. You got to run really fast. And whoever runs the fastest and gets the fastest time, we'll have a little trophy. We'll have a little community barbecue, little cookout, little lunch, whatever. And then we'll have a good time. I was planning a whole event. And now our speedometer's broken. And now 3 weeks after it being broken, it's gone now. And so who knows how, that's probably, if that's coming back. So the safety of the children who live in the community, who are, out walking on the sidewalks and the streets and riding their bikes, playing hockey, just doing what kids do in a community like this, are just, unsafe again, because we're parking on the street and we're speeding around because the speedometer's now gone again. And so, now fast forward to this morning, this morning. We can't even drive through where we need to go without a precaution because there's just a gigantic mountain of mulch in the middle of the street. We couldn't keep it in a truck. We couldn't put it on the grass. We couldn't put it on the sidewalk. We couldn't put it anywhere. We couldn't put it in a backhoe. We couldn't have it in where it what like how did it get there? How did it get there? Why couldn't we keep it there and take out chunks at a time from wherever that was? Or do something so it's not protruding the drive it. We got to forget almost ran into it. This community is one of the most, the HOA, what does it do? It doesn't mean anything. And I'm getting this close to going to every single one of the friggin' Zoom calls and just yelling at them. Like, what did we do this week, guys? Oh, nothing? Okay, well then tell me why you need paid. Like, what's the purpose here? Someone at one point in time said, we need a local government. And it just doesn't really make sense anymore. I'd rather mow my own grass. I'll mow my whole strip. I'll mow for the old lady at the end. I'm not going to mow for the who makes fun of my son and says and talks shit about my son. I'm going to let her grass grow. Let someone else mow her grass, but I'll cover the rest of the strip. I'll do it. I'll do it every week. Like, why not? If that's what it takes to not have an HOA, that's all they do. And they can't shovel unless it's 19 inches. So they're not doing that half the time. Half the time it's me. Half the time it's the other guy. Half the time it's the other guy over there. We kind of rotate and take turns. If we like each other, we shovel each other out. If we don't, you don't. You know what I mean? It's just an unspoken rule. And so that's just where it's like, I need a lawyer. I need a team. I need someone who can figure out how to disband an HOA government organization. There's nothing left. Like, the gutters, your gutters need clean every 3 years. That's what owning a home means. Like taking care of that shit every 3 to 4 to 5, however many years. That's what it means to own a home. And if you can't do that, well then move back into an apartment and let someone else move in. Because this is where we're at now, and I'm sick and tired of it. And it's like, I can't with the mulch everywhere, dude. It's going to be a mess. There's probably going to be a stain. Like, was there not a better way? There was not a better way. This was it. This was the best we could do. The company that the HOA hired and has given money to landscape our community, it's going to look like shit anyways, I'm sure, just decided to dump it right there. Just decided to dump a big mountain of mulch right in the main drive of it all at 9-8 when everyone's trying to get to work, get the kids to school, get on the bus, get out of there. We've just got a big mountain of mulch that we've all got to do a 1-lane way, like make sure no one's coming because the mulch is halfway in the street. And so that's what the HOA is doing this week. That's what we're doing this week. I mean, they're pissed at me because I haven't paid them in like 7 months. I don't know. It's not worth my time. Like, I understand that me not paying them gives me absolutely 0% of a right to bitch about it. Just know I eventually will. You know what I mean? I'm going to pay them. But I just don't do it regularly. And so at the end of the day, it's still just a burden and just something that I have to it's just like, you want to jump off a building. There's nothing else that the HOA makes you want to do other than jump off a building. Let alone the two-faced twig bitch down on the end who talks shit on your 5-year-old autistic son. Like, hey, grow up. Move back to New York, wherever you like to go or came from, like all your license plates. Just stick with whatever you else got going on over there, you weird. Like, we don't need to bring up what's happened in the last few years. You know what I mean? It's a public forum. We won't get into it. Megs will get mad.